Hi everyone, welcome to the Tear Bear tutorial. I apologize for it taking so long, but I still cannot find my tripod piece. I have literally MacGyvered the crap out of my tripod and camera. I'm using Play-Doh and some hemp twine to hold it all together. So I couldn't wait any longer. I know other people are excited. I'm excited to show, so here we go. Here it is. So I get my supplies from the Mulberry Bear, www.mulberrybear.com. She's also on eBay as the Mulberry Bear 2. I do believe it's the number 2, not spelt 2. Her name's Susan, wonderful lady. I find her to be the cheapest on eBay, but it's nicer for her if you purchase from her website because eBay fees are quite ridiculous these days, and I think it's cheaper if you go on her website. So I get my mulberry paper from there. I get, she gives you a free brush if you spend so much money, and I get my pens from her too. So the supplies you need is mulberry paper. Now when you're looking for mulberry paper, I use the color tan. That is not the most important thing. The most important thing is you want extra thick, and you also want rough. The thicker it is, the fluffier your bear gets. I only use one layer, but today I'm going to show you what 4 or 5 layers look like, how fluffy it can get. Also you need some white for the muzzle. You're going to need black and white cardstock. You're going to need some chalk. You're going to need a stylus or an embossing pen, or sorry, embossing tool, or a piercer, which is just the start. It's like a needle for those who don't know what it is. You're also going to need a wire brush. It's the one I got from her, Susan, at the Mulberry Bear. You can get these at Walmart or Canadian Tire for those who live in Canada. And one of my secrets is I use a denture brush. And the reason why I use a denture brush, you can use a toothbrush, but this is very, very firm. And it also has this small little thing if I want to get in around the eyes. And I use 2 different ones. I use one for the tan or the black or whatever color I'm using, and I keep a separate one for the white because chalk gets into it, and they obviously, as you can see, get very dirty. You need some sort of glue. I prefer Elmer's all-purpose glue. It is acid-free, safe for your photos, and it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. It gives you time to adjust the eyes and everything. You're going to need a thick black pen. This is the Uniball Gel Impact. I get these from the website, but you can probably get them at Staples. And again, this is the Uniball Signo. These are made in Japan, just like everything else, or China. But these ones, I think they're imported from Japan. I cannot find them here in Canada, but they might be in the American Staples. I heard someone said they did find them there. Best pen on black cardstock. Love it. And then you need a thinner black pen. I had one. She sells a little kit. That's what I started with. This is just from the dollar store because I ran out. And these are my brushes I use for my chalk. I don't use cotton or anything. It's just cheap little paint brushes that I have. Scissors, Copic markers, or what I use is General's pastel chalk. I would prefer the marker, but I cannot afford them. So I do blue eyes, but if you want to do brown or green, just kind of follow the pattern. A dark blue and a light blue. White chalk for the highlights, and then on here I have the brown chalk for the shadow. Alright, so let's get started. Now I freehand my Tear Bears, but, oh yeah, I want to show you really quick. Just so you know, Tear Bears take practice. I've probably done over 200 Tear Bears, and this is the progression of my Tear Bears. So this is what I started with, which I really yuck. But, like I said, it's practice. Then I went to here and I put glossy accents on the eyes. I don't suggest doing that. It really curls the paper. It's not a nice look. Then we went from here to here to here, and then my final, that's kind of what I do. So, alright. Like I was saying, I freehand, but you can find something. I tried to find something that was roughly the size of my Tear Bear's head. It's close enough. And as you can see, I use absolutely no water. Everyone here on YouTube that I have personally seen has used water, and that's what the general knowledge is out there. The reason why I don't use water, and they use water because it makes the paper tear easily. I don't use it because it sticks the fibers together. You have to wait for it to dry. It takes forever to fluff them up. and it makes it look really mangy. So all I do is I take my stylus pen, or you could take a piercer if you want to do like 4 or 5 layers all at once, and you just pierce all around it. It goes through all the layers. And I did my circle, and then I flip it over to the other side. You can faintly make out your circle, and I'm not trying to cut through the paper. I'm just making a real firm indent in there. Just enough so that the paper tears easily. So that's the head. Usually you can use a quarter for your ears, but I have no money on me. Sad as that sounds, I don't even have a quarter on me. So this is just a bauble that I have. And you would, again, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to skip this part. Just make 2 circles or 4 if you're double layering, and that'll get you your ears. So when you're tearing mulberry paper, you want to put your thumb and your fingers in the center of your circle, and you want to take your other hand and pull away. So you're holding firm onto here. And it should, see, you don't need water. It should tear fairly easily. Just like that. And to start your mulberry paper, if it's really thick, you can take scissors to it. It's hard on your hands. It's very drying on your hands. So there's your circle. That'll be your head. You would do the same with your ears, your muzzle. These are Fiskars, like precision scissors or something. This can make a good muzzle. I like to do quite a few layers on my muzzles, so you would take a piercer, go around that circle right there, tear it or whatever out, and then you have everything. So for demonstration purposes, like I said, I have everything all ready to go. The eyes is one of the most important things on a Tear Bear, and all my eyes are, I do freehand them. You can get a punch. If you can find an oval punch, a circle punch, whatever you're happy with. If anyone can find an egg punch roughly this size, let me know. But I just freehand, and all they are is eggs. So they're skinny on top, and they gradually come out fatter, and they round at the bottom. This is going to be really messy. I'm not taking my time. Then you can either circle punch a black cardstock out. You just make circles there, and when a thin pen comes in, this is really messy, I follow the bottom of the circle, and that's where I use my thin pen. Then I take my dark blue, and on the inside of the eye, to almost halfway, I color in dark. Then I take my light blue and I go right over the dark and I blend it out like so. Just like that. And then that's it. You go ahead and you cut. That's really messy. Go ahead and you cut it out. Tip when you're cutting, keep your scissors still and turn your paper. Never move your scissors. You'll get a cleaner cut that way. Just a little tip. Okay, and the noses, what I do, an oval punch will work. I use my Cricut for mine, and I cut mine out so many years ago. I think it's a 1/4 inch on some oval. Probably like one of the first cartridges I had. If anyone really wants to know, I'll investigate and find out. But I'm pretty sure it's 1/4 inch. But like I said, a punch will do the same thing. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to show you how it looks to be layered. This is 4 layers. Could go 5, but no, I'm not going to. So what you do is you take your wire brush and you just start brushing out. You don't want to press too hard, but it's firm. And you just keep going in a circle, keep pulling out until you reach the desired fluffiness of the bear. What I like to do is brush down, and you get all this excess here, which I do collect because I'm hoping that I can press it into new paper. I have a paper press thing, paper maker, by Bill Nye the Science Guy. And keep brushing down, down. Alright, it's getting nice and fluffy. Now, if you're only doing 1 layer, you would have been done 10 years ago. But because I have 4 layers here, I got quite a bit to brush off. Now, hopefully I get this up to the camera properly. I don't know, I can't see because the Play-Doh's in the way, but he's very fluffy. And then you do the same with the ears. The ears only have 2 layers. That's just where I stopped. Didn't bother to do more. And the ears I like to brush out in a circle. You only have to do half the ear because half the ear is hidden behind the head. Make sure you don't do this on your antique grandmother's table either, because it'll scratch the table. I'm using my craft mat. Okay, so I take my Elmer's glue. I put glue on half the ear. That's probably in the way. I put the ears halfway down. Well, not half, but I don't have the ears sitting on top of the head because I think it's cuter on the side. See, I'm just adjusting a bit. It wasn't quite round. Well, however. Ooh, this is really thick. It's nice. Okay, so now that I have that, what I do is I have my pre-cut eyes over here, which are much neater than the ones I just drew quickly. And I take it and I put my Elmer's glue on there. And I take it halfway down the head, just like our eyes are, believe it or not. Some people don't know that. Our eyes are not at the top of our foreheads. They're about halfway down our face. And I angled them in slightly. And this is why I like the Elmer's glue, because I have time to adjust. And oops, it slides. Okay, so halfway down, this isn't perfect, but I kind of angled them in towards each other. And then at this point, what I do is I get my chalk out. And what I do with the chalk, which I don't see anyone else showing you that they do anyway, is I take the end, and I just scrape it a bit so it's already powdery for me. I'm not like on dry chalk. Most people probably do that naturally, but I like to share. I take my chalk and I go around the outside of the bear. Like so. I guess I should try to go in the direction of the fur. It does make it easier. The fur. It's paper, but it looks like fur. That's why I like these guys. And I would take my white chalk, and what I do is I chalk up right between the eyes, and then I go right above the eye, like pretend you're drawing white eyebrows. You don't have to do this part, but this is how I highlight. And I think shading is one of the most important things with Terror Bears. The eyes and shading. And then this is why I like the angled brush when I go around the eyes, like so. I know you guys are seeing this backwards, but I cannot do this backwards, so. And I like to come down to meet up with the brown around the bottom. And then I also go around the ears. And it looks like it's really dark going on, but we still have some fluffing to do, so it does lighten up. And you actually might have to go in and retouch because it lightens up so much. Okay, so that's that. Alright, so that's basically what you should have at this point. It's looking pretty rough. And then what I do is this is when I take my denture brush. Oh, if you want, sorry, you can add white or pink, whatever you like, to the ears, or you can leave it plain. I've done it all, and they all look cute. It's not quite glued down yet. And then I just take the denture brush, and this just really blends it in to the paper. And like I said, go the direction of your fibers already. And this will really give you and this is, see, I'm using the edge, will really give you a fuzzy Care Bear. Ooh, he's super fuzzy. I think I'm going to do 4 layers from now on. Wow. That makes I've done 2 layers before, but never 4. It makes a huge difference. It's really fuzzy. Okay, so don't worry that your chalk's getting on your eyes because you go and touch them up after. So I take my thick black pen and I go around my eye, and I like to come in from the outside there, that way it doesn't leave a gap. I don't have to go all the way around the eye because you won't see the bottom of the eye. And I like to go up on an angle, like the direction of the eye, because it kind of gives, I don't know, cute effect, like it's sighing. Like the little guy sighing. So, go around, like so. And then this is when I like to go back in and just go over my black because either missed a spot or the chalk's on it. Take my white, which is hopefully going to work for me. I haven't used my pens for a long time. I haven't had to make Care Bears in a long time. Okay. Then I take my thin pen for the eyelashes, and I do 3 eyelashes. You can do more. I'm just not good at it, that's why I only do 3. And I just follow my lines. So I do one at the black line, one at the bottom of the blue, or sorry, the top of the blue, and then one for my final line. And I do that because my eyes are generally the same shape and stuff, so I just know that it's even as I can possibly get it. Alright, and then I go in and I take my glue, I put it on my muzzle. I keep the glue in the middle of the paper. This is 3 layers. In the middle of the paper because I don't want to get it on the end or it won't fluff nice. I put that there. I grab my other brush and, oh wait, yeah. And I pull down. I always pull down with the muzzle. You see I'm using the small one. Sometimes it's just easier. Pull down. Super fluffy, like so. Then I go in and open that back up. I take my pink and I very lightly, sorry, I got this slide, keep this over here. It's hard to do with one hand. Just very lightly go over because it's easier to just keep adding more till you get the desired look than to have to brush it away like I have to. It's a bit much, but whatever. And take my nose, get it all glued up. Oh, I think my baby's crying for a minute there. Hopefully my husband gets her. Okay, so the nose goes on, and I like to leave a little bit of white right there. Put it right in the center. And with the nose, all I do is follow that oval with the white and then leave a dot. And for the highlights, I put a big circle kind of close to the top, closer to the center. And then I like to do 2 little ones between the black and the blue. And sometimes I even do a little line in the white. And there you have it. That's your Care Bear face. I'll do another video for the body, but I hope, I don't know if I got, let me take a look. Yes, there we go. He or she is super fluffy. And that's how you do Care Bear. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know. I will be more than happy to answer them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that helps. Bye.